What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Resleevables, the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championships edition. I'm your host, Cedric Phillips at Cedric A. Phillips on all the things, and I am joined by the big guy, Patrick Sullivan at Basic Mountain on Twitter. Now, I know we've talked about doing some gameplay involved in this series. Patrick, it's finally time.
Took us some time, a lot of coordination, but now we've got a clean runway.
Yes.
We just start firing these things off. And what better place to start than the first World Championships, the first decks that I read about, like in a magazine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. This is basically Magic's first real tournament, the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championships, which is wild to think about. It's so long ago. The decks are they're fine. You know, let's go with fine.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on there. And let's say some easy room for improvement that we could identify.
I would agree with that as well. So here's what we're going to do on this version of the Resleevables. We are going to go over the history and the facts of the event. We're going to meet the top players in the event. We're going to go over their decks, and then we battle.
We get to duke it out.
Yes.
Just like they did 30 years ago.
That's right.
Except, we didn't pile shuffle or back shuffle each other.
That's, you sure?
We played with sleeves, so our cards weren't marked.
They did not play with sleeves back then.
Yeah, and those cards are marked.
Yes, they are.
Because the backs are different.
Yes, they
are.
But
whatever. Setting aside some particulars of the era, we did simulate the first World Championships, and we had a lot of fun.
So, with that, everybody, we are going to start this episode like we start every episode of the Resleevables with the facts of the tournament. All right, everybody, we are here for the facts of the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championship. But before we get to those, we got to get to the facts of our wonderful sponsor, Tales of Adventure.
Thank you, as always, to Tales of Adventure. Their website is toamagic.com, and you can also follow the store owner on Twitter at toamichael. If you're on Twitter, you're going to want to do that because he regularly posts very good deals and sales throughout the week. Their website is excellent, great customer service. High-end cards come individually scanned, so you don't have to wonder about the condition of the card that you're purchasing. You can see it right in front of you. All domestic orders are also shipped with free tracking and free delivery. And make sure to use promo code Resleevables at checkout for 8% off of any order. Tales of Adventure, Eternal lives here.
All right, everybody, let's get this party started with where this tournament was, which was at Gen Con in Milwaukee, not Indianapolis like it is now. It has been for quite a while. Over the course of the August 19th to 21st weekend. Now, this World Championship is unique insofar as the only Worlds tournament that was held in the vintage format, though it wasn't known as vintage because it was the only sanctioned format. So it didn't really have a name.
Right. And it was just sort of Magic. Eventually, what we would call standard under the ecosystem, that was called Type 2.
Okay.
You had some version of extended, let's call it. That was called Type 1.5.
Yep.
And then Vintage was called Type 1. But as you mentioned, Magic didn't really have a variety of constructed formats at this point. There was so few sets out that they hadn't really discussed rotation yet. And so you would call it Type 1, I guess. Certainly not Vintage, but most people was just like, yeah, we're playing Magic.
Sure. It's also the only Worlds tournament that was not invite only. So for this particular tournament, everybody could register, but the tournament was capped at 512 players. So imagine playing in a World Championship where the way that you get to play is a mail-in type of system?
A former colleague of mine, game designer, played in this tournament. And he said that he had to call someone on the phone.
Sure.
They said, okay, you're good to go.
I want to play. Now, of course, nowadays, I don't know, you'd send an email, you'd send a tweet, you'd send a DM. Who knows? It'd be much easier. But realistically, you'd have to qualify for Worlds like players did this year. But back then, whole different ballgame.
And you may ask, 512, that's an awfully specific number. Why would that be the cap? We'll come back to that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This tournament was won by Zach Dolan with a deck that could be called Angel Stasis. Nowadays, if I were in charge, what would we call it?
Let's give some fuel to the fire for our haters.
That's right.
It's a Bant mid-range.
That's right. Bant mid-range right there. I know some people might call this like white, blue, green prison. It's Serra Angel and Stasis, among other cards, which we will be going over the deck list later in the show. Second place was Betrand Lestree with something resembling a zoo deck.
Yes.
How about that?
Has Curd Ape.
Yes.
Has Lightning Bolt.
Yes.
Has Psionic Blast.
Yes.
Has some other cheap creatures.
There you go.
The details start to get fuzzy at a certain point about whether you would really call this a zoo deck or not. But foundationally, yeah, for the time, certainly, it was a very aggressive build.
Third place, Dominic Simons. And fourth place, Cyril Defaucond. Now, of course, I am doing the best I can on the pronunciation, so I do apologize if I get anyone's name incorrect. This event did have coverage, kind of. Not the coverage you think of with Twitch or maybe me and you doing SCG Tour and SCG Live and stuff. They're called magazines, folks. Magazines are still a thing, kind of.
Yeah, I think. My kids get them sometimes.
All right, cool. In Duelist number 3, Mark Rosewater, who, that's a name we all know, wrote an article before he worked for Wizards of the Coast, chronicling his time of roaming the halls at Gen Con. Rosewater gets into what it was like back then when the dark was new, and it seemed like every company at Gen Con was launching a new TCG to compete with Magic. He also covers his own experience playing in the main event and watching the finals play out. Now, 2 things. 1, you can find a link to that article in the comments here on YouTube. But 2, I do remember some of our past episodes. There was a lot of like, hey, there's a new card game because Magic was getting so popular. People were just trying to make stuff to compete with it.
Definitely.
I wasn't around then. I know you've mentioned on previous episodes. I can't think of the name of any of them, but there were plenty, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know exactly this time necessarily.
Sure.
But the Decipher games, Star Trek, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings, those were, at least several of those were late 90s offerings.
Okay.
Rage, the werewolf game that I played for a little bit. Wyvern was another one.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a handful of them. Some of them kind of similar to Magic, trying to sort of crib the game engine, and some of them quite a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was trying. Magic, as we know, has held strong through it all. There was also just pure tournament coverage in Duelist number 3 and the Duelist Companion, which was the official newsletter of the Duelist Convocation, later the Duelist Convocation International, and later just
the DCI.
There you go. The coverage was an extremely detailed recap of the finals, as in a turn by turn, card by card, what's in each player's hand every single turn recap, which is not what we would do now, but that was then.
I will say, I started doing coverage for Versus System, another trading card game, came out in the early 2000s. And that was still common practice.
Okay.
In like 2002, 2003, is you just write down everything. I feel like I did a small part moving the craft forward, where I just took broad notes, outlined key turns and cards, and cut matches from 5,000 words to 1,000.
Sure.
So that is me, moving the art forward a little bit.
Okay.
But that style was kind of common even in the early 2000s.
Look, that's what I
write down everything.
That's what I was used to reading.
Yeah.
Back on, was it the Sideboard?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was used to reading too. So this is kind of where it all started. And a fun note here, quote, if you would like a complete transcript of the World Championship, what each player has in his hand each turn, what cards they drew, etc., please send a written request to the Duelist Convocation. And you can find a link to this card-by-card recap in the comments here on YouTube. Lastly, Zach Dolan wrote his own article in Duelist number 3, where he describes his playing style and how he conceived of his Worlds deck. And that is very commonplace, or at least it was, where, someone wins a tournament, they did a tournament report.
Sure.
There you go. And my last note, and this kind of circles back to Patrick doing a little foreshadowing of why this was a 512-player tournament. The 1994 World Championship was a 2-day, single elimination, cut to top 4 tournament.
Awesome.
Can you imagine flying, driving a long distance, whatever, to play in the World Championships? You lose your first match and your tournament is over.
That's why they got to have it at Gen Con. You got to be able to go do something else in your time.
That's actually
what I mean? It's not even that big of a deal.
I wonder if okay, so let's imagine we've, of course, been to a ton of tournaments over the years. At this event, you lose your first match, dunzo.
Mm-hmm.
Are there side events to play in? Who knows?
Well, back then you could make your own side events because ante was a thing that people still did.
Yes.
You played for either a random card out of your deck or you agree upon stakes ahead of time. And that was the sort of version of side events back then.
Yeah.
I started playing in tournaments a little bit after this point, a couple years, and single elimination still was a thing. I played in single elimination tournaments with like $20 entry fee, $25 entry fees. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
One time I made it to the 3rd round and I'm like, I'm so sick. And then, the Stone Rains and Nether Voids came crashing down on me. My 1/1 Kurt Ape hit a few times, but I
mean, you got him like 15. That's like pretty good.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, that's like pretty good.
Yeah, but I played in tournaments a little bit after this point that were still structured the same way.
So for those of you who play in Swiss tournaments nowadays or don't like tournament structures, just think, what it could be. So those are the facts of the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championship. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about the top 4 players. See you soon. All right, everybody, we are back, and we are going to take a little time to introduce the top 4 players of the Magic the Gathering World Championships way back in 1994. As mentioned earlier, the winner of the tournament, Zach Dolan. He was, at the time, 25 years old, from Rolla, Rolla, Missouri. He was a former employee at GE. Zach left his job and moved to Palo Alto. That's North California, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. To become a graduate student in manufacturing systems engineering at Stanford. He was an admitted, quote, Magic fanatic, and he learned how to play at his local game store and used the game as a way to relieve stress. He, quote, had his fair share of Magic all-nighters. The only trouble he had was finding people to play with. I asked you pre-show if that was any difficulty, but you said you had the homies to play with.
Yeah, a bunch of my friends locally were playing. But yeah, the all-night Magic sessions, just 4 of us or 6 of us just playing over and over and over again. I had that too.
Yeah, that's kind of a common thing in the young days. You just stay up all night playing Magic with your friends, assuming you had something to play with. After reading about the World Championships in The Duelist, basically finding out about it from the magazine, Zach decided he needed to be a part of this tournament. He's got to go. So he got in his car from Missouri and drove to Milwaukee, which I looked up in Google Maps. It's about a 7-hour drive.
Okay.
Now, I will say, was it a 7-hour drive back then?
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe like the roads are better. Maybe there's better ways to go.
I bet the roads are better back then than now.
All right, fair enough. So here's a fun little thing. He didn't think he'd make it, as his car wasn't in good shape. So during the trip, he lost 1st gear, 4th gear, and the ability to go in reverse. And once he arrived, he was unable to find a hotel, so he slept in his car, quote, the way I figured it, nothing was going to make me miss this tournament, end quote. So, for those of you who are like, I've done some pretty extreme things to get to tournaments, or for those of you who are like, I would never do extreme things to get to tournaments, it started with the first tournament. The first one.
I played in a PTQ once in Rochester, New York, not close to New Jersey. And the car that my friend had in Rochester to drive around in could not turn left. So if we needed to make a left turn, we had to do 3 rates instead. And
oh my God.
Then I went home. So yeah, everyone who's in it has stories like this.
I've slept driving home from the Memphis Worlds in it was either 07 or 08. Really bad ice storm on the way home.
Yeah.
Just pulled over on the side of the road, slept in the car.
Yes.
Yeah. Just could barely see out the front window and everything. And just we're pulling over. Car didn't really have great heat. I remember it all, man. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta
I drove to Toronto to play in a team PDQ when I was already qualified and would not have played with these two people had we won.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to bird Canadian nationals and play in a random tournament.
Love that.
It's an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. When asked what advice he would give other Magic players, Zach answered in the following way, quote, "The key, I think, is saying, I want to decide where in Dominaria we play the game. Yeah, I know. That is, I want to set the parameters of our duel." And Zach admits that the sideboard is one of the keys to doing this. Quote, "The first game is just a test for the sideboard. Then, if you're able to figure out what you're up against, you can tune your deck to defeat it." Ahead of his time.
Some words of wisdom there.
That's right.
Yeah. You in a tournament setting, you play more games post sideboard than pre. And certainly for a deck like his, which, in that mid-range control space, a lot of your post-board games is taking out the 4 wrong answers for the 4 right answers.
Yep.
Also, where on Dominaria do we want to battle is expressing something that is very smart, which is you want to be defining what the game is going to be about.
Yes.
You don't want to just be like randomly playing stuff and responding, but have an overarching sense of what you want the pace of game to be. What are the key cards? What are the things you're trying to avoid?
Yeah.
So it is kind of in some kind of, hammy RPG sort of language, but those are all truisms that are still applicable today.
Let's go to our runner-up, Betrand Lestree, 23-year-old from just outside of Paris, France. He was the French national champion, and he won a free trip to Milwaukee to compete in the World Championship from winning that national championship, which is pretty cool. Betrand noted that Magic was very big in France, and that one game store in particular, which sponsored the event, attracted Magic players from across the country. So I think in the way that you'll sometimes talk about like neutral ground, maybe in this store in France, which I believe is pronounced Layoff Cube, was the same thing in France, which would be really cool. He also noted that French tournaments were run differently from the single elimination style used by the Duelist Convocation. Ranked by their performance in previous tournaments, players competed in an elaborate Swiss system in which the players had the opportunity to duel with numerous records. The winner is the person who has the best overall record, a system that he suggested is, quote, fairer and allows everyone to play longer, unquote.
Another really nice piece of insight.
That's right.
It is more fair.
Yep.
And it does let people play longer.
Just ahead of his time. Betrand's favorite part of journeying to the States was, quote, "It was the trading, definitely. People here will trade with you. That is not always so in France," end quote. And in fact, he admitted that he built his entire deck, all black border cards that he went out of his way to boast about, which I think is a pretty big deal back then, completely from trades he made while at the Gen Con convention. Go ahead on that.
Interesting story. I'm more than 90% sure that in one of the Facebook groups I'm in that, deals with a lot of the old school high end stuff. Okay. His volcanics from this tournament came up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They were very, very heavily played. They were graded like 3.5. So like very, very beat. Okay. But someone had it was confirmed his volcanics from this.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And as for his loss to Zach Dolan in the finals, Betrand would only say, quote, "I'll be back," but not in an Arnold voice, I'm sure. Dominic Simons, 28 years old from Brussels, Belgium, was one of the semifinalists. He lost in the finals of French Nationals to Betrand. So he paid his own way to come compete in Worlds. However, he was unable to pre-register for the tournament, so he sweated it out when he had to wrangle his way in with a generic convention ticket. So that leads me to believe that he paid his way to come to America for the trip, was not sure if he'd actually be able to register for the tournament, though, and then got in.
Again, you have Gen Con as a backstop.
It's true. Gives you something to do.
Annie in the hallways, whatever. You'll figure it out.
Still going to have, if he wasn't able to get in, still plenty of Magic to be played.
For sure.
Dominic noted that, quote, "It was great fun to play in America. The people here are so calm. I beat someone and they just say, quote, cool, good game, unquote. It is not like that in Europe, unquote."
That's surprising to me, but, as an American, I guess I'll take the praise.
Yeah. Maybe we were that way back in the day. Tough to say if it's that true now. Lastly is Cyril Defaucon, 20-year-old from Paris. Also beaten by Betrand in French Nationals. He lost in the semifinals. Quote, ultimately lost in a very close semifinal when when he encountered the scourge of all Magic players, Mana Death.
So what I understood Mana Death to mean was Stone Rains and such.
Okay.
But Betrand's deck doesn't play any of that.
Well, at least for this tournament it didn't, but maybe at French Nationals.
Maybe. He might just be referring to being land screwed.
Sure.
But also could be referring to Stone Rains. I'm unsure.
He also added that the trip was not a total loss. This is by far my favorite piece of the notes that we have for this show. Quote, so far, playing for Ante, I have won 8 Black Lotuses and 6 Moxes.
Yeah. Losing in the semis was a little disappointing, but, winning $150,000 in Ante kind of made up for it.
Not a bad weekend, I guess.
Not bad.
Yeah. We have joked about playing for Ante and like the Ante cards that existed and everything, but apparently this is just a thing that people did regularly.
Yes.
There's a lot of, from the few articles that I was able to find about this event, there was a lot of playing for Ante. And I think there was one match that Rosewater wrote about where there was playing for Ante, basically anything that was in the graveyard, I got at the end of the game. And you were not allowed to play with any graveyard removal.
You couldn't Tormod script or whatever?
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Okay.
So it's just like whatever's in your graveyard at the end of the game, whoever wins, they get to scoop that up, which is insane.
Yeah, you better cut Black Lotus.
That is insane.
At least the Moxes stay in play. You have some hope of keeping those.
I know people nowadays, they're just like, oh yeah, what's that stupid game? Rip it or flip it or rip it?
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're tough? How about your whole graveyard's mine?
Yeah.
I'm leaving with that.
Or, you got 3 Moxes in play. All right, cool. Shatterstorm, kill you. Scoop.
Those are mine.
Those are mine.
Ancestral Recall. Oh, that resolves.
Yeah, that resolves.
That's fine. It's going to resolve for me next time. Crazy. Those are our top 4 players here from the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championships. When we come back, we are going to break down the 2 decks that made the finals and that Patrick and I will be playing in just a sec. All right, everybody, it is now time to go over the 2 decks that made the finals of the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championships. Let's start with the winner, Zach Dolan. Angel, Stasis, Bant, mid-range, white, blue, green, prison. You call it whatever you want. We're going to just do a quick little deck breakdown here. We have 11 creatures, a Birds of Paradise, a clone, a Ley Druid, a Time Elemental, a Vesuvan Doppelganger, 2 Old Man of the Sea, and the star of the show, 4 Serra Angel.
Yeah, sure. Those are all cards that were legal. The 4 Serra Angels I'm on board with.
All right.
The Bird of Paradise I'm on board with.
All right.
You could talk me into Old Man of the Sea in the sideboard or maybe 1 copy Bane. It's not a weak card by any stretch. It's a lot of exposure to Lightning Bolt that this deck otherwise ignores. So, I don't know if it's really worth it. The clone, the Vesuvan Doppelganger, the Ley Druid, I would describe those as below rate.
Sure.
To the degree that, I would probably cut them for more lands, which we'll get to later.
Let's talk about the instance here. We got an Ancestral Recall. That one's a gimme. 2 Disenchants, a Mana Drain, a Siren's Call, and then the best removal spell maybe then and arguably still now, 4 Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, no brainer if you're playing white, industry standard stuff. The number of Disenchants that people played kind of all over the place. This was a time where, of course, the best decks were all playing Moxes, so it was really hard for Disenchant to be dead. How many you wanted to play, reasonable people could disagree, but you typically saw a few at least in the main deck of white decks at this time.
Next up, we got 6 sorceries here, Patrick. An Armageddon, a Recall, a Regrowth, a Wrath of God, and then 2 members of the Power 9, a Time Walk, and a Timetwister.
So it's very easy to, in modern times, to look at a deck like this and say, why is it playing 1 copy of Armageddon? Isn't this a control deck? And this sort of thing was a little bit more common at the time, and it's not necessarily bad. Back then, playing defense was way better than playing offense.
Okay.
You had a lot of counter spells, you had a lot of removal spells, card drawing that were way better than the threats. And so having a dead card in your hand really wasn't that big of a cost, because what is your opponent pressuring you with? It's pretty rare, right?
Sure.
Even if your opponent is drawing a lot of cards, they might only have so many threat cards in their deck, and you can use Source of Plowshares to fend all that kind of stuff off. So having a card in your deck that's dead a lot of the time, but every once in a while is just lights out, like the game's over if this resolves, is a good way of approaching it at the time, even though this doesn't look like the type of deck that would typically play Armageddon.
As far as enchantments are concerned, there's a control magic, there's a Kismet, and then there are 2 copies of Stasis.
Yeah. So it's not an all-in Stasis deck by any means, but there are a couple nods to the combo here. As you mentioned, the 1 copy of Kismet. Howling Mine is part of the equation as well. There are some synergies that go along with it. The Time Elemental is set up sort of a laborious, but like theoretically hard block. But it's not all in on the Stasis plan.
As far as artifacts, there's 15 of those. That's of course because there are some Moxes that are legal. There's also Black Lotus. So I've got Mox Emerald, Mox Ruby, Mox Pearl, Mox Sapphire, and Mox Jet. So the full 5, the Lotus, a Soul Ring, a Mana Vault, and then some, I'm going to call them lesser artifacts. A Black Vise, a Howling Mine, an Icy Manipulator, an Ivory Tower, a Winter Orb, and 2 copies of Meekstone. We can ignore the power cards and the Soul Ring and the Mana Vault. I think those are pretty obvious. What about these other guys here?
There's a handful of opponents that really can't beat Meekstone.
Okay.
I don't know if that justifies it in the main deck. I've never talked to Zach about why the certain card choices are made. But again, it is sort of in that Armageddon theory, right? You don't get punished that much for having dead cards in your hand at this point in time. And if some of your opponents can't really play through this card, then okay, cool. Maybe that justifies the main deck spots. Ivory Tower and Black Vise, I would say, are sort of industry standard restricted cards that people didn't really question. I actually think the Ivory Tower is actively good in this deck.
Okay.
I think the Black Vise is not really carrying enough weight. Maybe it's really good in sort of the mirror match sort of scenario when you're going first. But even then, these decks play with enough disenchants and moxes to get their hand low even pretty early in the game that it's not very reliable.
And last, but certainly not least, the lands. 15. 1 Library of Alexandria, 4 Savannas, 2 Strip Mines, 4 Tropical Islands, and 4 Tundras. The 12 duels, pretty easy. Library, completely busted. Strip Mines, pretty good, but maybe throw a couple more lands in this deck.
I would offer at least that this deck has 9 mana sources capable of paying for Stasis. So if you're going to play with Stasis, you should, I guess we can move it to 10 if you count Black Lotus.
Oh, sure.
But it's not like great to sack Black Lotus to upkeep your Stasis.
Sure.
So I would offer this deck is really light on mana sources. And I can see cutting, I can understand the argument at the time for going to 15 because you have 5 Moxes,
so
Soul Ring,
20,
Mana Vault,
22,
Black Lotus,
23.
Okay, that's plenty of mana, right?
Sure.
It's not, especially because your Moxes are prone to getting blown up at this time.
Some of them don't even cast your spells.
And some of them don't even cast your spells.
Yeah.
So I would say considerable improvement could be made to this deck by cutting the 5 worst cards and just putting in 5 islands.
Okay.
But there is some very strong theory going on at the time. Like I said, this list is not, it's easy to look at this and kind of point and laugh. And there are elements to it that are not very good.
Yeah.
But things like the 1 Armageddon that a lot of players I think nowadays would look at and say, what an idiot, does speak to the way the game was played at the time.
Okay.
1 copy of Armageddon, even in your control deck, makes a lot of sense because it has spots where the game's over.
Yep.
And if you're not really getting punished for dead cards, the cards that you should play that are dead sometimes should all be haymakers. Same thing with the Meekstone.
Yep.
It is lights out some amount of the time, and you can have it be dead some of the time and not really get punished very much.
Alrighty. We're going to move on now to Betrand's deck. 4-color aggro, zoo adjacent. There's some unique things going on here. I'm going to start with the creatures. 2 Whirling Dervish, 4 Kurdain, 3 Birds of Paradise, 3 Argrothian Pixies. Now, Patrick, you have mentioned numerous times over our first handful of episodes of the Resleevables where we cover sets. The creatures were terrible back in the day.
These were the best beats you got.
Yeah.
So you got Card Ape. Okay, cool. That's still not an embarrassing card.
It's like still fine
Easy,
today.
easy to justify that one. Whirling Dervish is not bad, but not really easy to cast.
Yep.
And Argothian Pixies is, it's a surprising call to me, no matter what. But especially because Elvish Archers was legal, which seems like just better if you wanted a semi-evasive threat. I did some thinking about this, and I wonder if it's because this deck is especially weak to Brassman.
Okay.
Because it's Curd Ape, Whirling Dervish, and another 2/1.
Okay.
And his Argothian Pixie is like a nod to Brassman. That's the only thing I could come up with.
Instance, I would never even think
because some
about
people
that.
did, like Brassman it's a 1-mana 1/3 artifact. Like people played it in decks and sideboards and stuff.
Okay.
At the time, I don't know how much it was in the later rounds of the World Championships, but I'm really struggling to imagine what could be going on there other than, this deck is actually not great against Brassman.
Instance, 2 Psionic Blasts, 4 Lightning Bolts, 1 Ancestral Recall. That part's pretty straightforward.
Great.
Sorceries. We got a Time Walker Regrowth, a Mind Twist, which we'll get to here in just a minute, 4 Fireballs, a Demonic Tutor, a Channel, and a Chain Lightning. So already, Channel Fireball built into the deck.
Yes.
Love that. The Mind Twist, I like a little bit less. Going out of your way to splash for it, but it is a powerful card.
Yeah. It's a card at the time that randomly wins a lot of games, especially in your opening hand backed up by artifact mana. It is dissonant with the strategy.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but splashing for Mind Twist Demonic Tutor was a pretty common setup at the time.
Enchantments, there's just one. It's a copy of Control Magic, which is not the easiest thing to cast in this deck, but you do have 3 birds and various dual lands, which we'll get to, which make it feasible.
Yeah.
And City of Brass. Artifacts, 7 of them. Black Lotus, Mox Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, and Jet. So there's 4 Moxen, 1 Lotus, a Chaos Orb, and then an Icy Manipulator.
Interesting that this deck's color mana requirements are sensitive enough that could not make space for the Pearl.
Yep. And then last 20 lands here for 4 Volcanic Islands, 4 Tropical Islands, 4 Taigas, because you are a base red, blue, and green deck, 2 City of Brass, 2 Bayou, and then the OG creature land for Mishra's Factory.
Yeah, this is a pretty sweet construction, and it's cool because back then there just weren't that many lands to choose from, and the mana bases of the 2 decks in the finals are entirely different.
Yeah.
You have Library of Alexandria and Duels squaring off against Mishra's Factory, City of Brass, and some Duels.
Yep.
And I believe no Library of Alexandria in this deck.
No library in this deck.
Right. So even though the selection of playable lands was very narrow.
And no strip mine in this deck.
That is shocking and bad. You should play a strip mine. Sorry, I'll get back on track.
That's all right. Do your best. Do your best.
But given that there's a narrow range of playable lands in the first place, seeing decks they're both multicolored. You have a 3-color deck versus a 4-color deck, and they're doing entirely different things with their lands is pretty impressive.
So, those are the 2 decks that made the finals of the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championship. But it's not about talking about it. We got to be about it.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to our other studio, and we're going to square off for you right after this break. All right, everybody, we are back for the gameplay aspect of the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championships. I have a zoo strategy. You...
Bant mid-range.
Yes, as it is colloquially known.
You threw out Angel Stasis.
I think that's what they called it back in the day.
I think that's a fine, but as one of our pet projects over here is removing all creativity and flavor from deck names. So we're going to call it Bant Midrange.
Beautiful. We're going to play some games, both pre and post sideboard, and we're going to do what all Magic players should do, in my opinion. High roll to see who goes first.
We high roll around here.
10.
Yeah, of course we would.
I will go first.
Yeah.
My friend, good luck to you.
Good luck.
Alrighty. I have an opening hand that I'm definitely going to keep.
Me as well.
Whew, baby, here we go. That is a Taiga. Are you familiar with Mox Jet?
Absolutely. That's a Mox Ruby, though.
That's a Mox Ruby. You're right. All right. Good start for me. Are you familiar with Argothian Pixies?
I am. It's a 2/1, and it can be blocked by artifact creatures.
All right. That is my first turn of our first ever gameplay.
All right. My turn?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I don't know if you're going to want to keep playing or not, but I'm going to play Library of Alexandria.
Okay, sure.
I've talked about this in the video series of this was the best card in 1985, better than Ancestral.
You have spoken about this at length.
Let's see where this goes. I'm done.
I will draw a card. I'll tell you this much. Oh my goodness. How's 2 taste?
18.
Yes! I'm going to play a Volcanic Island.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my good friend.
Ooh.
Is Curdape with a Taiga.
That is very nice.
We call it a combination.
Right.
It is your turn.
Yeah, your turn. I'm going to tap library, draw a card.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll draw. I'm going to play a Tundra.
All right. Something's getting Swords to Plowshared, I'm sure.
And I'm going to plow the... Trying to think if it actually makes any sort of difference with the monies I get. I guess I could potentially strip mine your only green source. All right, I'll get the pixies.
Pixies down.
Pixies down.
I gain, it looks like a life?
2.
2 life. It's power, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 22. Big
Exile. No regrowth in that one.
That's my bad.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to untap this Mox.
Mhm.
I'm going to draw a card. Oof. Oh, buddy. How's 2 taste?
Take it.
Yeah.
Right now, 16.
16. Yes, you're taking 2 twice.
This is as
What
good.
am I at
This
now?
this is as good as the beatdowns got back then.
Yeah, so you said
Like
this,
I'm like, oh, I'm under pressure right now.
So you said this a lot, how all the creatures were horrible. Yeah, they're horrible.
they're horrible.
They're horrible. It is your turn.
And your turn, I'll draw a card.
Good idea.
Alexandria.
Yeah. I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
I'm gonna trying to make some lemons over here, I gotta say. I'll play Tropical Island.
Okay. Mana base is looking nice.
I'll also play a Mock Sapphire.
Good idea. To be clear, that's not Moxa Jet, and neither is this.
Right.
Got it.
I know.
I never owned a Mox.
So how many cards in your hand?
3.
Alright, so I gotta figure out if you can mana drain or counterspell me. And then what could you do with the mana? Does that even matter?
You're concerned with the counterspell? I would never.
Hard game, you know? I've got 7 cards in my hand, 4 don't do anything. Let's say go.
All right. Time to untap my 8. Draw a card. I guess that's not technically weird. All right, Ape Smash.
Lump.
Yep.
Lumps. 14.
14. I'm going to play Icy Manipulator. I'm going to take one from the City of Brass.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, Icy's in.
Okay. Go ahead.
Then step draw with library.
Yeah, sure. This is a, in case it was unclear for those of you at home, this is a mono artifact,
Yeah.
which we went over in our Alpha Beta Unlimited episode.
Oh my god, this deck is...
There are some stinkers.
A treat.
Yeah, there are some stinkers in your deck.
Alright, I'll play a Tropical Island.
Okay. Is it Serra Angel time?
Not yet.
No, you don't have 2 white. Okay.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
you don't
Is
have
it,
to play.
my favorite thing about Zach's deck is like, okay, so it's short 6 lands, maybe it was mana weaving, fine, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You could make room for City of Brass. Like, the mana in this deck is so bad.
It's not great. It's not great.
I'll go take this.
All right, that's yours now.
And I have a forest even. Go ahead.
And you have 7 cards in your hand, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
of
keeps
course.
working out that way.
Yeah, that's really,
Just draw with library, play a land, play a spell.
yeah, it's really fortunate for you.
This card is like people have no people who weren't playing back then. If you're like a cube player and you know it as like okay, good,
Yeah, in Vintage
okay,
Cube,
to,
yeah.
okay to good in Vintage Cube, or you're familiar maybe with a little bit with Vintage where it's like fringe playable at best.
Yeah,
People just dump on this thing all the time.
Yeah.
Back then it's like, are you seeing this? I've drawn 4 cards and it's not going to stop. And that's on a land that taps for colorless.
I'm going to play Volcanic Island, and I have no further game actions this turn. I think you do.
All right, end step. I'm going to draw a card.
Oh, weird.
Alexandria.
Weird. Good choice.
Okay.
Now, I've got a feeling here as we're going to move to your upkeep.
Yeah.
This Icy Manipulator is interested in tapping that Tundra.
I'm going to tap the Tundra.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Beat me down?
Well, you can tap the library while I have 8 cards. in hand.
Whatever.
Well, I didn't say that was good.
Yeah.
It was just,
Your
So
mana's so bad.
you're tapping the Tundra.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, move to draw.
Yeah, that's fine.
Every draw step is like, I'm trying to think how to describe it.
It's an adventure.
It's vintage Mormor Vig. Here's a card. Okay. Move to combat.
Yep. How the tables have turned. 19.
I have a forest.
Yeah, you did 2 of them.
I just want that to get lost in the shuffle here. And I'm gonna play a Tundra.
All right.
I'm gonna play a Mox Ruby.
All right.
I'm done.
End step. Nugglesworth. Lightning Bolt.
Oh boy.
How you feel about that?
I'm gonna take it.
All right, you are down to 11.
Not the ape, huh? Not the 8.
I got a lot of life to work with.
Yeah.
So I'm all right.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
That's
all
right. That's
I'm gonna
right.
use that life total as a resource. Big draw step. You can see this one coming. Bayou, sure.
Yeah, Bayou
Yep.
Volcanic Island.
That's right. It's your turn.
Your turn. I'd like to draw.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so the next games we play, I'm just gonna hope you don't draw that card anymore.
What? I thought it was like really mediocre. I thought this card was worse than Custodial Lich.
Yeah.
Someone. All right. Where am I upkeep?
You have 8 cards?
Yeah.
All right, well, this time I actually might want to tap the library. Not that you've already drawn 5 extra cards with that.
That's however many turns it's been.
I believe it's 5 extra cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tap the library with this Mox.
All right, there's those.
Yeah, got him.
All right, come on.
I'm just going to mark myself at 17 now so I can get that part over with.
16, right? Oh, no. Yeah, because you... Oh, yeah. The
Game
IC.
2,
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah,
You're
we'll
right.
see
You're right.
transaction, yeah. Yeah, okay, 17. Let's get that part over with.
I'll try to resolve Ivory Tower.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I don't know.
It's fine.
Dude, I don't know. All right. I'll go ahead and try to add a Meekstone to this party. The creatures with power greater than 2 do not untap.
So, Meekstone shutting down your own Curdy.
No, it's Big O's.
Any creature with power... Oh, greater than 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. I'm just trying not to discard hand size.
Okay, that's fine.
Plus, I'm trying to just get a little bit more fog of war for a potential Chaos Orb.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Always good to be
All right, I'm done.
All right. I'm going to untap my
Okay.
Icy Manipulator. I will draw a card. Okay.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
During my upkeep, I'll draw a card with Library of Alexandria.
Yeah. So when does this trigger?
Beginning of my upkeep.
Okay. Or during your upkeep phase, but yeah, I guess technically the beginning of your upkeep. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So if I icy this, does it do anything? Shut it off?
I think it might.
Okay, well, it's fine for right now.
Okay, so I'm going to gain 4.
Yeah, you're 15.
All right, so move to draw.
Do it.
Move to combat.
I would love to go to 15.
All right. I'll try to resolve Ley Druid. You can tap this thing on top of land.
I understand how.
I'm gonna again Chaos Orb equity here. Like if I want to keep beating down, even if you orb me.
Yeah, thank you. It's good type play. Mm-hmm.
Go. Oh my god.
You.
4-2 it is.
Yeah. All right, you're at 11,
Uh-huh.
and I'm at 13.
Yes.
End step. Tap your Tundra.
Slap a Chaos Orb. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you get me, you get me. I can't
It's
do
gonna
this
take a lot.
forever.
It's gonna take a lot.
I can't do this. I can't do this forever.
Okay. Go.
All right. So upkeep.
A new plan.
Try to draw with library.
Yep.
Uh, 4 off the tower.
All right, you're 15. Good Psionic Blast.
Move to draw.
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh my god. I know I keep saying this. It's too funny. Move to combat.
Curd Ape down.
Okay. No attacks.
Ooh, Ley Druid hanging.
Tropical Island.
Okay. That's all 4.
It's all 4. I'm gonna stack them here. You can me. For 5 mana.
Yeah, Serra. Nope, not Serra.
Vesuvan Doppelganger.
Yeah, sure.
I'll copy Curdy.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'll draw.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you lose now.
You got it?
Yeah, that's it.
Bird's in.
That's probably. You sure?
Yeah, it's in.
All right. Your turn.
End step. I'm going to try
Let's
to...
have your library. Yeah.
Library?
Yeah.
And I'll draw?
Yeah, you're super cool. That's fine.
That's pretty cool.
That's fine.
Still at the end of your turn.
Someone tried beating down under these conditions?
Yeah,
Successfully, technically.
Yeah, I mean, these decks were pretty poorly built, even if you wanted to beat down, but it's really hard to beat down. Speaking of, in your turn, I'll try to Ancestral myself.
Yeah, it's good.
Still at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to disenchant your Icy Manipulator.
Okay, yeah, that's dead.
We are just cooking right now. Okay.
Tell you this much, you got more than 7 cards in your hand.
That's right.
That I know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's gain
6.
6?
5.
5. Yeah, 5. All right, sorry. 20.
All right. Drop.
Yep.
Move to combat.
Oh, the late. Oh, wow. Oh, you're trying to get this one over with now, huh?
I mean,
the Ley Druid's,
cannot possibly get cards out of
the Ley Druid's ready
to avoid discarding hand size, so I'm kind of off the icy.
I will go to 8.
Icy Manipulator.
That resolves.
Move to discard.
Sure. Sure. What do we?
Yes, another
Meekstone. Okay, great.
Upkeep.
Oh, okay.
Inside your City of Brass.
Good idea. 7. For those of you not in the know, whenever, I'm going to read it. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. You suffer.
Yeah.
You suffer 1 damage whenever City of Brass becomes tapped.
Yeah, they changed with Mana Confluence. It works
it works the way you would think it would. Yeah. I actually like that City of Brass. If somebody taps it, you take pain.
Yeah, it's cool. Nice. It's a nice little feature.
Well, my friend, it's time to hit the dusty trail. You're up 1-0.
All right,
well
cool.
Done.
Okay. You can have your credit back.
Thank you so much.
Vesuvan Doppelganger.
All right, I'm going to keep a little bit of a shaky one here for game 2.
My hand's also pretty shaky.
Okay, great. Good luck.
Yeah, same.
19. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. It's your turn. It's your turn. I'm seeking a forest. I am seeking a forest. All right?
Alright. I'll drop Coal Island and I'll Ancestral.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, have fun. Yeah. No Mox. Dang it.
Ivory Tower.
Oh, come on. Really? That's just, I mean, at least forest me? Oh, good.
The volcanic.
Good. No, much worse. Yeah, much worse. 1.
19 all. So, Cedric was kind enough in between our games here to point out that his deck doesn't actually have any counter spells in it. I'll have to be playing around that. But there was a deck back in the day that used Hurt 8, counterspells, Serendipity Freeds, bolts, and such. Kind of the first, let's call it teamer mid-range deck. Do you know what the nickname for that deck, or like the name for the deck at the time was?
No, I do not.
Monkey May I.
Okay.
And
counterspells? Okay, sure. That would never happen in my watch. This is what we like to call a curve.
Yeah, this is so
8,
sick.
Pixie, Factory.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah, we're both spending all of our mana each turn.
That's right.
To see who wins.
That's right. It's your turn.
All right, game 3.
Interesting. Yeah. Cool. You're 21. Or excuse me, 22.
Yeah, of course. Okay. I'll play Black Vise. Sure. Go ahead.
You don't know.
No, Zach is short so many lands. I ancestral myself. It's just not even close.
Man, I'm gonna steal this one. Okay. All right. The Vice.
How many cards do you have?
I have 4.
You take nothing.
Okay. Let me talk before I draw. Before.
Okay. Yeah. What's up?
Was Black Vise good?
Kind of. Like, if you had it turn 1 against a deck like this, it could be pretty good.
Okay, because every time I play a game with it now, I'm just like, that card is horrible.
Yeah, it was just a different time, and it's also like when you can play 4 of this, that's like a strategy.
Okay.
If you have one random one in your deck, it's just same thing with Ivory Tower, right? You could imagine if you could play 4 of this, it'd be kind of sick.
Sure.
1 is like it's okay sometimes, but a lot of the power of these cards comes from like stacking them, like having more than one copy.
Okay. I have another City of Brass.
Okay.
Don't mind dealing myself a little damage here. 17.
Oh, I'm taking this on the job.
Yes, you are.
5.
How's 5 sound? All right, so you're going to go down to 17 as well. Tie game. Let's make it 16 for yours truly to put you down to 14.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, upkeep, I go to 17?
Yeah, you gain 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I bet that was... Yeah, I bet that
That does not free me up here. Go.
You're cooking. See, one thing has held true since the beginning of Magic.
Cards in hand.
3. One thing has held true at the beginning of Magic. You know, aggressive decks, they can beat decks with bad mana. Oh no! Woo! We have the combo!
Oh no, this is a big swing.
6.
Yeah.
You're at 11.
It's incredible. It is really incredible to have a dual land and 2 other colored boxes and not be in the galaxy of casting anything.
It's your turn.
All right, upkeep, I gain 3.
You are at 14.
Okay, come on, baby. It's starting to run out of time.
Oh no, that's actually a real card.
Yeah, that could be useful.
White Source, I was a little scared of that.
Your turn.
All right, I am going to take 1. I'm going to go down to 15. I'm going to bolt you.
Okay.
So you're going to go down to 11.
Okay.
Still done?
Still done.
Beautiful.
Carson, dude. The answer keeps getting worse. Okay, yeah, keep going.
Oh my goodness. I am feeling. Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Fire up.
Yep.
Attack.
Fix 4 damage.
Bump it.
I will
Swords. No, what's this? Disenchant?
Disenchant Factory, and I take 4.
You're gonna take 4. You're at 7.
Okay.
7 to 15. Go.
Gain 2.
All right. You're at 9. Come on, baby. Just trying to cross that finish line.
Jeez. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bang the table.
Let's see. Old man.
Go.
No. Okay. Old man. Let's see. Yeah. 2. Good to check.
One of these days, man.
I dare you to play something. I dare you to play a creature. Here it comes!
Oh,
come on. Dang it.
Wow, the pixies before damage.
All right.
Take 2.
This gets exiled. You take 2, you go to 7, and I gain 2.
That's right.
I go to 17. Make the City of Brass a little bit better.
Oh,
okay, so I'm going to go down to 15. Fireball you for 3.
Yep.
You're at 4. Go.
6.
You're at 6. Come on, sweetness. We're almost home.
Go.
Okay.
This is another double blue spell.
There you go.
I stopped asking. I assumed I was no good at this point.
Still 2. Still 2. Monkey.
4 damage. Okay, you gain 2.
Alright. I was 17.
Okay.
I feel like I'm supposed to do this now. Alright, drop.
Yeah.
So, how many cards do you have?
6.
So you would gain 2.
Yeah.
So, 1, 2, 3. I push you to 2, you go to 4, and then I'm like, you have to start playing stuff.
You say that.
Right? You have to start playing things, I think. The problem is I don't want this to get countered. So I feel like I have to play it now. Alright. 4.
It's like a psionic blast.
Yeah, it's like not good. But okay, so you're at 2. I'm at 15 for my City of Brass.
That's a 4.
Go. You go to 4. Nice.
Shit. I'm not gonna play this.
No! Play it!
Go.
Oh, dang it.
Go. I need that. I need the tower. I'm getting like 20 off of this thing. It's...
Alright, factory.
Yeah.
Good?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Alright, you're back to 2.
Yeah.
Go.
5.
Yep. I can't beat the tower.
If you can.
All right.
This is step 1. Go.
Bang.
Take it.
You're at 3. Go.
6.
Yep. All right.
Go. We're
sort of.
crawling out of it.
I don't hate this. I don't think. Regrowth.
Targeting.
Look at the humdingers. Look at the humdingers I have here. I will be targeting the factory.
Well, draw with library response.
Okay.
And I'll try to mana drain it.
All right. That's good.
Okay.
This goes here. Please no.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh.
Upkeep. I gain 2.
Good 8. Slipping away.
Okay. Draw with library.
All right.
Come on. Go.
Oh, cool. That's fun. All right.
We were playing with old rules. You would have gotten a little bit of an edge there.
How so?
Mana burn.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Or just burn for 2.
Right. That is a thing.
I would have just done something different and worse, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, go.
Okay. Upkeep. Draw the library.
Yep.
Gain 4.
12.
Draw. Gonna play this out. Okay.
Oh, you think you're good?
Black Lotus.
Okay. Yeah, probably not bad. 12, 15.
Okay. And 7 win.
Actually, I can't read my own handwriting. I think that's a 19. That's actually an 8. It's definitely not a 12. Let's call it 18. Let's call me an 18.
I'll try to regrowth the mana drain.
Okay. This is unfortunate.
3, 4, 5. White off the Lotus, Serra Angel.
That's fine.
Go.
Box.
Yeah. Try and mana drain it. Okay.
Go.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
It's fine. Who cares?
Upkeep by game 2.
Okay. You're at 17.
Draw. So 3. 4 mana, 4 colorless.
Yep.
So 1 colorless floating.
That's fine. I'm doing great.
And with the remaining colorless, I'll play an icy.
Okay.
Go for 4.
I'm at 14.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Upkeep, tap a city.
Okay. I'm at 13. Okay.
Terror.
Channel.
Oh no! No. Okay, fine. Channel. No. 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 No.
I would pay a red, and then I'm at 13 and you're at 17. So is this enough?
I'm at 17.
You're at 17 and I'm at 13.
No, you don't.
I don't think I have enough to
No,
kill
especially if City of Brass
is involved. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're just a tad.
this would put me to 12, and then so it's 3 mana. So that would put me to 12. I have 3,
and you can pay 11.
and I can pay 11. 11. All right, you win.
All right.
You win.
Whoa.
I was really hoping you mana
That was-
draining that. I was really hoping you mana draining that control magic would lose you the game.
Well, you see, getting some beatdowns in
Makes a
also
channel.
plays around Channel
Yeah, it does.
Fireball.
It does.
All right, 2-0.
All right, 2-0, and heading into sideboards now. All right, it is sideboarding time. I'm down 2-0. I'm gonna need some real help. Actually, I was gonna let you go first, but because I'm gonna be on the play for game 3,
Go
because
for it.
my sideboarding is very simple, I'm going to go first. Okay. These Serendipity. I wonder why they're in the sideboard.
Yeah, because it's really fits the theme of the deck really, really well.
Big creature.
It's a big creature, put some pressure on, evasion. Kind of weird to have in the sideboard, especially because like you just have so many stinkers in the deck.
In the sideboard no longer. They're coming in. I'm going to get rid of this Ice Manipulator that effectively does nothing in this matchup, I would say. This Control Magic, which not only does it do effectively nothing, but can be disenchanted. And then these couple copies of Chain Lightning I'm going to sideboard out because they are effectively Lava Spikes. Still have my Bolt, still have my Sonic Blast, still have a couple copies of Chain Lightning, have my copies of Fireball to try to burn you out. But yeah, I don't think I need that many of these. So that's my plan.
Okay, so on my side, the cards that I'm bringing in are by and large not very good.
Okay.
It's more of a function of these cards being so bad.
Sure.
Arguably, Meekstone gets better in the post-board games because you have Serendibs, but set that aside. Biggest thing I'm concerned about from my end is just the Fireball kills. Game's going for a very long time, and you know, as we saw in Game 2, Cedric almost backdoored me with Channel Fireball. So, Cop Red, Power Sink, and In the Eye of Chaos are all cards that make the Fireball kill way harder to pull off.
Okay.
And then I think Diamond Valley's probably good enough with just Cedric's aggressive. I've got some control magics, just whatever, keeping my life total high. And then Copy Artifact and Chaos Orb were just two cards that I think are good enough just to replace some of the stingers in the deck. Cedric's deck is way too fast compared to mine, so I really don't want the Timetwister or the Black Vise, which are cards that he plays a much better game against. Time Elemental, too slow, too easy for him to kill. Vesuvan Doppelganger, too bad. And again, the Meekstones, I don't know. You know, we'll see how Game 3 goes. I might actually want to bring him back in, depending on how good the Serendibs are. But otherwise, it doesn't really affect him as we saw in the first two games, so that's an easy cut.
All right, we're going to shuffle up for game number 3. All right, we are back for game number 3, our first of 3 games post-sideboard. Patrick, you're up 2-0 for now. Your turn. No ape.
No ape.
I know.
What kind of hand?
I know.
Tundra. Mox Ruby.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Not quite. Go.
Try to answer for myself and stuff.
You already. Yep.
Do you play with that card?
I do.
Surprising.
I do. Yeah.
Because it sure doesn't seem
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Play Tropical Island. Go ahead.
I forgot that card was even a real card.
Yeah, it's really good at casting Serra Angel.
Let's see. Draw. Ifrits.
Sure, I'll blow it.
Not good. 23.
Exiled.
Whatever.
It's farming now.
Yeah.
Happier life.
I bet everyone said that.
Okay. Savannah.
Yep.
Sapphire.
Okay.
Go. You know what they call this in MMA?
What's that?
Ground and pound.
Yeah. One step at a time. All right, go.
Okay. Go.
This is awkward. Go. Five mana.
Yeah, sure. Go.
Let's go.
I'm gonna take one off the
Yeah,
ball.
you are. 19.
Draw.
All right.
So, Slam on in. Power sync for 2.
It cannot pay.
Well, it actually forces you to pay.
Oh, does it?
That's what power sync does.
Oh, okay.
Combo with Winter Orb.
Target spell is countered unless its caster spends X more mana. Caster of target spell can't choose to let it be countered. If caster of target spell doesn't have enough mana, all available mana from lands and mana pool must be paid. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well then hang on. Learning something new.
Oh, you're fighting back on this?
Well, I'm not fighting back. It's just if I'm going to lose my mana, I might as well do
Oh,
something.
sure, yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll just bolt you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not allowed under previous rules, just as you know.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, so you go to 16. Yeah. So then this resolves, and then that happens, and then I take 4.
Uh-huh.
So I'm at 19.
Go.
All right, so untap this, draw, go.
I'm so good at playing these games, I gotta say.
Oh, whatever.
One off the mana vault.
Yeah. 15.
I'm back. I'm back, baby. No control matching. That.
15 all.
I'll strip your trop.
Good.
Good. Go.
Mox.
Oh. Okay.
Go.
One off the vault.
14. $11.
Chaos one.
Still in the stack.
No.
Yes!
No.
It's on the stack. It's on the stack. It's on the stack.
Oh, no.
All right. Chaos Orb resolves.
Absolutely.
You that has to be a legal play.
Absolute
what I just did.
Absolute baggery.
That has to be legal.
I very much doubt it. All right, here we go. Go. Can't believe you achieved this. Oh God. All right, your turn.
All right. Back in it. Back in it. 11 to 14?
Implied 18.
Yeah. I know. All right.
Pour the chaos orb out.
You.
Whoa, okay, fine.
Bolt you. All right, untap.
No.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Okay,
Mox is good.
So these were
Yeah,
untap.
you're good.
All right, so
You're
this. That's right. Winter Orb.
No, one of your lands is tapped.
No, because it was like this. Bolt you.
Right.
Oh, right. So then, right. I got it. Like, it's hard. Magic is hard. Put these lands back in the safe zone.
Yeah.
There we go. Draw for my turn.
Yeah. Okay.
Not my cleanest turn.
All right.
Not my cleanest turn. Go.
I'm off the vault.
Yeah. You're 10.
I'm at 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
14 to 11.
Yeah. Okay.
These bolts are adding up there, buddy.
Yeah, you're right. No kidding.
I'm not gonna kill a Serra Angel. I'm gonna make you sack it. Yeah. All right, 7.
All right, go.
Bang.
Gotta take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
That's right. You're at 7.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yep.
Take it.
Yeah.
You're 4. All right. Untap a land and my Mox.
Yep.
Better this time. Okay. Factory. Go.
Upkeep.
Finally.
Draw.
Do it. I should probably pass this on your upkeep.
Yeah, you're attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good in business.
Me. Yeah. Okay. You play no counter spells, so it would just have to be drain.
And you're at what?
Oh, it's 7, you're 4.
Okay. See if I get Diamond Valley and just kill you.
What?
Just if the Psy Blast is going to kill you also to gain it.
Oh no. No, you actually have the counter? No.
I'm at it right.
All right. Damn it. Okay, I'm probably gonna lose now. So I go 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
So untap. This obviously untaps.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I guess. All right.
Yeah, I can't imagine the factory is doing a
I
whole
don't
lot
think
here.
they're doing anything, yes. And then, oh, well, you probably can't beat that one, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Does your all-dual spell deck have an answer for my creature? Interesting.
And if somehow I didn't have that next turn, I was going to Sirens Call your ass.
What does Sirens Call do?
It's basically, you have to attack with anything that can attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
This lines up really nicely here.
So, kept this. I'm gonna presume you had the sync the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Because you just never tapped out.
Yeah, Sync was in my opening hand.
Yeah.
Drain, I think I drew somewhere down the line. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, turn one, land, Mox, go, Ancestral end of turn is something of a giveaway that I could use my mana for something.
Yeah.
So it goes 3-0.
Yeah, okay. 2 to go. 2 to go.
That was the first game. Winter Orb was sick.
The Unorb was awesome.
Yeah, Winter Orb was awesome that game.
All right, it's time for game 4. I'm down 3 games to 0. Means I'm on the play again.
This is easily my worst hand of the match. What I have.
This is easily my best.
Okay, here we go.
What do you think about that?
Is it resolved?
I'm at,
Oh, you want me to
I'm at 19. Oh my. No. Giddy up.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm just going to get this dice ready. This die, singular. No, please. Okay, that's not a white source.
Yep.
Okay, thank goodness.
No, this is gonna be good for a little bit.
I'm at 19 from the city. No cheating here. Big draw.
Yep, that's one.
And a turn it triggers.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
My bad.
Thank you. It's going to be a painful day for me. 17. And the Efreet.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Got a little something to work with here. Actually, we really don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. It's unbelievable.
Well, they always have it. Go.
Oh, the old man?
Yeah.
That's a 1/3?
2-3.
2. Okay, whirling Darvish down. I guess technically not true. Big, enormous draw.
You just forget about Serendib?
I did. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate you. 16. It's very kind. I was so focused on drawing the right card to kill your stupid card. It's alright. No excuse.
That really stings. Yep.
I'm at 15 for my City of Brass.
That's 5.
Yes! 14! Whirling Dervish trigger on this deck? Not yet. I'll take one more.
Yeah.
Does this resolve? It's your turn. Boop.
Uh-huh.
You are nicely laid out.
Yeah, I try to be mindful of it without going crazy like you did last time.
I had a response to it. That's all.
Yeah, that's. quite bad. Go.
Ugh. All right, I'll take one.
Yep.
13.
I'm gonna worm my way out of this one too.
That's
huh?
tough. Go. This is lame. Are you kidding?
Pay for
Yep.
Stasis. Go. Take one.
12. I hope this ought to lose. Oh, let's see. What was that? Go.
As well. Go.
11. Let's see what we got here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Chaos Orb time. I mean, there are 2 monsters I could blow up. Okay. Well, yeah. Wait. This is... Can you activate Chaos Orb anytime?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I thought for some reason you can only activate it as a sorcery. No, your turn. That seems kind of silly. Yeah, good choice. Yep.
Go.
Oh, yeah. It's go time. All right, how do you want to play it?
You do your thing.
Okay. Come on.
Almost. Your turn, man.
All right. It is my turn. I'll take one of my upkeep.
Okay.
Not the best of cards, I guess. Tough to say. Oh my.
6.
All right, so you're gonna go to 8.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have much mana. Fireball! I'll take 2 to cast it. I'm at 8.
And this knocks me down to 4.
This would knock you down to 4. All right, so you're at 4.
Yeah.
Counter.
Yeah.
Go. Come on, I just want to win 1.
I'm gonna try to weasel my way out of this one.
You have a lot of mana and a lot of cards.
Yeah, but I mean, cards is
Well, you have cardboard.
right. Okay.
I kind of hope I lose to like Serra Angel, Time Walk, Attack You, Recall Time Walk.
No, it would be way more Weasley than that if I found a way to get out of this one. Okay. So I have 4, 5, 6, 9 mana theoretically to work with.
Don't kill me. I even drew the perfect mox for the dervish. I keep wanting to call it Whirling Darvish. Like you boy from the Padres.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. Ooh, okay.
3 green.
Grun mana.
Regrowth. A Stasis.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. See if a green floating. Not
Yeah.
like this. I don't know what this is, but just not like this. All right, no mana floating.
Go.
Oh, right, you don't have double white. That's good. Okay. 1. I go 7. Go. This is the turn you needed the planes. This is the turn.
Go.
Okay. 6.
Yep.
Go. Stasis is really fun. Okay.
Draw.
All right. Okay. 1, 2.
All time walk.
Damn it. Yep.
Okay. Do my next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
6 to 4.
I'm at 4.
You are at 4.
Ugh. I feel like there's got to be some way to keep this going.
No!
Alright, so 5 mana. And then... So we do it for 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Recall?
I'm going to recall for 3.
I'd like you to read recall out loud, please.
Sacrifice X cards from your hand, and then
So a little slower,
sacrifice X cards from your hand.
Okay, thank you. I
And
just
then
like
bring
that card the
cards.
most.
So exiles.
Okay.
So I'm discarding these 3. I'm going to get back to Time Walk.
Look at this ragtag group of cards. Okay.
Stasis, Regrowth, Time Walk.
Okay.
I'll cast Time Walk.
That resolves.
Okay. Take my turn.
You can take your turn. All right. I wanted that one. Okay.
Actually, I might not be able to afford to do this. I'm at 4.
You are at
You
4.
only have blue up. So
You have regrowth stasis.
I could regrowth. I'm just saying if it makes sense to do this. To save the 1. Because then I have a mana left over. But if I'm committed to regrowth walking, then I'm just going to regrowth walk, I'm sure. Save the point. All right.
Still at 4. Land.
Regrowth walk.
Okay.
All right. Now is actually the decision.
Haha. Oh my gosh, I'm so close.
I kind of have to end. If I do untap it, then it really fucks up Stasis. If I don't, then you're actually winning the race. I think I just need to take the point.
All right, you're 3.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take 1.
Yeah.
I'm at 5. Go. Ever heard of it?
All right. I'll pay for Stasis.
Okay.
And I'll take 1 from the vault.
You're at 2.
Go.
Okay. I think I'm supposed to.
Did you take 1 for your Serra?
Yeah, sorry. 4 to 2. It's all the same, right?
I kind of want to just like, I can go at this point. 1 is the same thing as 3 or
Yeah.
So I can at least give myself draws. I might be able to draw Disenchant.
Go.
That's bad news. Okay. Favorite stays to take a point.
Okay, you're at 1.
And you're at 4.
I'm at 4. It feels like I control magic or something.
No, it's much worse.
Okay, good.
Go.
3. Chain. Yeah! Armageddon!
That game was sick.
Chain of fools. We're on the board! All right, everybody. Patrick's already won the set. This is mostly for pride. Game number 5. You're on the play because you lost.
Yeah,
just so that you're aware.
Got it.
You made some changes.
Yeah, I decided to, after the Whirling Dervish Serendip Ifrit beatdown, I took that game. I decided to bring the Meekstones back in replace of, I think, Copy Artifact and Siren's Call.
Okay, I have sideboarded out Mind Twist because I hate it for an additional copy of Chain Lightning.
Sweet.
There you go. You may begin.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. Giddy up.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
And let's go towards it. Yeah. Right. 23. Can't blame a guy for trying.
Go. Actually, don't go. I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. Go.
Well, it's been a long time coming. Yes!
You or me? Okay.
Yes! Finally! Alright. Oh. Damn it. I deserve that. Land for turn. Go. Don't laugh at me. You my little bird. Okay.
Go. Yeah.
This one.
Cards.
3 of them.
Got it. Go. Got its ass.
Yeah, you sure did.
Hit the showers.
Yeah. Ancestral's pretty good card.
It is.
It's not bad. Gosh, come on. Alright, so this is exile, this is exile. I'm gonna life in the 24.
Go.
And I've got a factory to strip mine. Okay. Come on! Oh, yeah. Alright. Pound.
Yeah. I'll take 2.
I love that. I love that for me.
I'll take 2.
Alright, you at 18.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yes.
Do you have any responses?
No, it resolves.
Alright. No! 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 I'm so close!
Is it my turn?
Go! No, I can't. I'm horrible.
It's harder than it looks. It's harder than it looks.
Really not easy.
The people who are good at it, it's like a real thing. Okay.
That Mox and that I've won. That Mox and that duel are so close together.
Man.
You're at a very healthy 18 to my 24.
Go.
Here we go. It's time for bad creature beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. $16.
Yeah.
You.
Regrowth targeting strip mine.
Sure.
Go.
All right. Pow. 14.
Yeah.
Go. We are better served being patient. I hope. Four mana. Wrath? No, come on. Fine. Yeah, you can have it.
Go.
You have a forest? Yep. Came prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Go!
Business.
Yeah. Tables have turned 22.
Soaring.
Yeah.
Serra Angel.
All right.
Go. Stop. Upkeep.
Ooh, Strippy.
I'll take out the Vault.
It's in the graveyard.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
We just have to. Is it time? It might be time. You have 1 card left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't have to do anything rash.
Go. It's dead.
Yeah. Smell you later.
That's right. Oof, that was a big draw.
Please don't be ignored.
No.
Okay, I'm at 20. I guess Mineral's not that good against me right now.
Go.
Oh, the old man. All right. I don't care about that one that much, I don't think.
Sure. I'll take your bird.
Hell.
Or give you beatdowns. was gonna say there was some way I could have kept my mana up to chain back at you.
Yeah, no
Really
way.
upset
No way.
if I missed that.
Go.
Yeah, 18, 14.
Kismet.
Yeah.
Go.
All my stuff enters tapped.
Creature Slains Artifacts.
All right. Go.
What's up with the bite?
I don't know.
Is there like a demonic?
There's a demonic and a mind twist.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like there's a fetch land to get it. It's just in here.
I think that's City of Brassicas.
Yeah. And like this, I think there's like 2 birds. I mean, there's at least 1 bird. I'm at 16.
Serra.
Sure.
Go.
Okay, that's like a real card finally.
Do you have to split it? Could you go a card ape than me?
I don't know.
I think you have enough mana card ape than me. You want the Serra?
I definitely want the Serra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, Factory's tapped, right? Because of this Kismet. Okay, but 1, 2.
You just
1,
need
2, 3, 4.
you need 5 mana.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's dead.
Yeah.
Tapped. Go. 14.
Yep.
All right. And now it begins. Oh my god. Yeah, give him a taste.
Yep.
Faces the place. You're 12.
Yeah.
Go. I don't know, like, good card you can draw.
What told you?
I am at 14, you're at 12. Might be time to that 8, maybe hang back on defense.
Go.
Oh!
Howling Mine.
A 1! A Tahoo! Time Walk.
Yes.
Play a draw.
Tapped.
You got me. Okay. No attacks. Untap. Draw. A 1! A Tahoo! Oh, well. I've seen about enough of that. Bonk.
Take it.
You're at 10.
Yeah.
Land for turn. ETB tapped. You. Alright.
Go.
Okay. 1, 2. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Well, lesson learned. That's alright. Try to hit you. Alright, you're at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Tapped. Multiple bayous because, of course.
This is so fun. Yeah.
Go.
All right.
Yeah.
Go.
This. I got 3 of these guys, 2 of these guys.
Take a point.
1. I'm at 13 to 8. 1. A Tahoo!
The box. 6? Yeah.
Hadouken! That's 6. No! Oh my god.
Mandarin.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, you got that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tapped.
Yep. Thanks, Kismet. Go.
Okay.
I had a fireballs. 2, 3. I think there's another one. I hope there is. How's that not good?
Black Lotus.
Okay.
Stasis. Go. We know the wood gem.
All
We got some time.
12.
Time
And a lot of cards.
We have the
one. Oh, Stasis.
That's right. Someone's learning some lessons.
Ooh, Stasis Kismet is
that a combo?
Stasis Kismet is tough. Ooh.
Oh yeah, all those back in the day we had no idea what was going on. Just a bunch of dum-dums.
Whew, that is tough.
Yeah.
All right.
Stings the nostrils.
Go.
All right. Pay for Stasis.
All right. Yep.
And you're at?
I'm at I'm at 12 to your, it looks like 6.
12 to 6.
One day I'll start to run legibly.
3.
All right, Mox.
Go.
Oh no. Okay. All right. All right. All right, I don't get to attack.
My man's getting cuffed up.
11. 1. I can't play that. 2. Damn it! This is so stupid.
Oh, we're just so.
This is so stupid.
We're just so bad at magic. Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll take nothing.
Yeah, that's right. You do. That's right.
Your turn. Yep.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh, check mark. Yeah.
I have to block this time. Oh,
Go.
yeah, that's. I'm at 10. This is so sick.
So sick.
This is so sick. Just yeah.
You know what? I think you would have won the game really easily if you didn't whiff on the chaos orb. Just anything I think would have been good enough. Take a look, everyone. Back in the day, you couldn't do better than this. This was the best thing you could do. Those games were sick.
I have been
God.
stasis locked. I have been stasis locked for.
I
think that's the first time in my life I've been stasis locked. All right. Patrick wins 4-1. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna recap these decks and put an end to this episode. See you soon. All right, everybody. We've battled. I've lost. But it's okay, because I had a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
So here's the thing about this whole thing that we do with this show. We go over old sets and, we do our podcast and everything else. But what we haven't done yet is really effectively play Magic, even though we talk about Magic a lot. And on a lot of the episodes that we've done recently with Homelands and Fallen Empires, The Dark, 4th edition, stuff like that, we've talked about maybe the low points of Magic. But here's the great thing about this game. It's still fun to play.
So there are some bad things going on in the games for sure.
Sure.
I think, turn 1 Library of Alexandria and just defend myself the whole game, not great. And too much Magic back then was that.
Okay.
But games 4 and 5 were like legitimately awesome.
Those were fun.
Those were like really hard and interesting and dynamic games and very high tension. And something that I appreciated about the games a lot is the cards in play were all pretty simple.
Yep. And
the interactions were still very engaging in spite of simple cards and just horrendous balancing.
Yep.
Like, if you care about that sort of thing, right? We're casting Ancestral Recall and Time Walk, and that is a distortion in the games. But if the game was close, it was so much fun. Really clean, straightforward, but engaging and dynamic.
And also, I think one of the things I really enjoyed about the games that we played, it was about as classic Magic as you can get, which is an aggressive deck against a control deck.
Yeah, and
right?
and it had that feel, right? There was a bunch of games where I was walking the racer's edge for a couple of turns, and you had to draw a step to it, or if I, made a mistake and let go of the rope, that I could have very easily died. And
or I needed to get to untap through your stasis.
That's a different thing. Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to defend all of it. You under stasis luck getting killed by your own Serra to be free while I'm just trying to pay the upkeep. My deck with 10 blue sources. Not awesome, but that's not the entirety of it. There's other stuff going on there too. And a lot of those games, if you can kind of appreciate what the era was like and the different things being stronger and weaker than the way that cards get printed now, is like really, really fun.
So we finally got to play Magic. We finally got to play those games, which was an absolute blast. And one thing we're going to do is we're going to keep score. So as you take a look at our beautiful scoreboard right now, you will find that for the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Championship, I won 1 game, Patrick won 4. So you are currently leading in our battles 1-0.
And I think that might be on me. I'm not positive I could have gotten that one, but it was hard enough and there was enough going on where I feel like perhaps Zach would have gotten that one.
Fair enough. I'm very excited to play more Magic for you fine folks. This was an absolute blast. There are, of course, a ton more tournaments to go over, and we are going to be doing that because this is now going to be a regular addition to the show. So there's a 1995 Magic the Gathering World Championship. There's a 96. There is Pro Tour Chicago and other Pro Tours that are beginning to take place. And so this is going to be kind of the style and the formatting for I don't want to call them gameplay episodes. I want to call them looking at tournaments during the time they took place.
Yeah, it's not really, it's a retrospective.
Yes.
Less than it is, But yeah, I'm so excited about it. This was so much fun.
It's going to be an absolute blast. So that is what you guys have the opportunity to look forward to. But before we go, we of course got to do some shilling. So first of all, if you enjoyed this, subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like, ring the bell, whatever it is that people say at a time like this. We are trying right now to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So help us reach that fantastic number and arbitrary goal that I've put in place so we can be thrilled by the end of 2023. You can, of course, if you subscribe on our page, you can find our more traditional episodes of the Resleevables where we go over sets, most recently alliances. You can, of course, find our crack-a-packs, most recently of alliances. You can also find our snippets of our Unsleeved podcast as well. And if you want to listen to that podcast in full, you can subscribe over on patreon.com/theresleevables, where you will get early releases of traditional Resleevables episodes, as well as videos involving us going over tournaments like this one. You'll get full access to our entire Unsleeved podcast, and you'll get the early looks at the crack-a-packs too. And of course, you can always, leave a message there and we'll interact with you and all that good stuff over on Patreon. And of course, your support makes you 1, a Jackal Pup, so there's some cool rewards to get. 2, become eligible to win the extra pack from the crack-a-packs. And 3, it helps keep these lights on.
Yeah, I mean the lights are not going. You don't need to threaten them like that. But we got the packs over on the side. You want to show off the next wave here?
Oh yeah, I can do that. What we got?
Yeah,
here's some for you.
Yeah.
So I got some Weatherlight packs, and look at this, 5th edition.
I got Mirage and Visions over here. This is also a commitment that we are going to do the shows because we can't get stuck with these.
We've got at least 4 more shows.
And if you go to the Patreon and subscribe at the $10 or $25 tiers, you can be drawn for one of these 2 boosters.
You can also follow us on Twitter over at twitter.com/Resleevables so you can keep track and keep up with everything that's coming down the pipeline. And then, of course, before we go, we got to thank our wonderful sponsor, Tales of Adventure. Eternal lives there. TOAmagic.com. Make sure you're following TOA Michael. That's Michael Caffrey, store's owner, because as Patrick mentioned at the beginning of the show, he posts deals and all sorts of fun stuff. And use promo code Resleevables at checkout to get 8% off your order.
I was going to say something about, I wouldn't get my beta duels anywhere else because we just did, covered the show. People had beta duels, sort of as a joke. And then I realized that I actually did buy a beta duel off of him not that long ago.
I love that.
So, Tales of Adventure, TOAmagic.com. Thank you as always to our sponsor. Great website, place that I personally shop well prior to this happening, and a really valuable sponsor for the show. So thank you for that.
So what's next? Well, 1, we got to record the 1995 Magic the Gathering World Championship here soon. And then 2, we're going to be recording our Mirage episode on the more general and receivables that you are used to. So Mirage on one side, 1995 Magic the Gathering World Championship, and some episodes of Unsleeved in between. For Patrick Sullivan, I am Cedric Phillips. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.